Personality trait theory. According to Allport's personality trait theory, the individual's personality traits are the key to the uniqueness and consistency of his or her behavior. One of Allport's early projects was to go through the dictionary and locate every term that he thought could describe a person. From this, he developed a list of 3,000 trait-like words. He organized these into 3 levels of traits. Cardinal trait. This is the trait that dominates and shapes a person's behavior. These are rare as most people lack a single theme that shapes their lives. Cardinal traits are those that dominate an individual's personality to the point that the individual becomes known for them. Cardinal traits are the most dominant personality traits, but also the rarest. Such traits are so intrinsically tied to an individual's personality that the person becomes almost synonymous with those qualities. Central traits. Allport believed that central traits are much more common than cardinal traits and serve as the basic building blocks of most people's personality. If you think of the major terms you might use to describe your overall character, such as honest, friendly, generous, or anxious, those are probably your central traits. Allport suggested that most people have about 5 to 10 central traits. Secondary traits. Secondary traits tend to present themselves in certain situations. For example, you might normally be a pretty easygoing person, but you might become short-tempered when under a lot of pressure. Or a normally calm person might become very anxious when faced with speaking in public. Examples of cardinal traits. Most people do not have a cardinal trait, but a combination of several central traits. Allport studied traits of famous personalities and historical figures. He found that such people are often thought of in terms of their cardinal traits. Some examples include Mother Teresa, good, charitable; Adolf Hitler, evil, depraved; Albert Einstein, brilliant; Niccolò Machiavelli, ruthless; Jesus Christ, good, faithful, holy; Martin Luther King, Jr., just, heroic; Abraham Lincoln, honest; Sigmund Freud, psychoanalytical. Functional autonomy. The ability of a person to perform independently the various tasks required in daily life is termed as functional autonomy. Allport was one of the first researchers to draw a distinction between motive and drive. He suggested that a drive formed as a reaction to a motive may outgrow the motive as a reason. The drive then is autonomous and distinct from the motive, whether it is instinct or any other. Allport gives the example of a man who seeks to perfect his task or craft. His reasons may be a sense of inferiority ingrained in his childhood, but his diligence in his work and the motive it acquires later on is a need to excel in his chosen profession. Conclusion. Cardinal traits are defining characteristics, one quality that is considered to represent a person. It is hard to look at someone like Albert Einstein and think of him as anything other than a genius. But of course, he was a human like everyone else, with a unique and multifaceted personality. It is difficult and usually unfair to reduce any person to a single trait or quality.